Think positive.
Welcome back to the Ghoul Ambrose podcast, GA for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself, one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called Two Speeds, One Destination. Some go fast, some go slow. Run your race is all I've been told. As the mind evolves, things that used to pass us by, we paid no attention to. But as it catches up to speed, those same things grab our vision. Before someone can run their race, they have to know what they're running toward. Not every beginning feels like a beginning. Sometimes it feels like standing still. It feels like walking without direction. Trying this, leaving that, turning around, starting over, then trying again. Maybe that's why the first few steps aren't always a sprint. Maybe you start off in a jog, not because there's a lack of ambition, but because there's still a destination being discovered, a pace being developed, a race being found. Run your race. It's a phrase that's easy to repeat, easy to understand, to agree with. Running isn't always the difficult part. Keeping your vision where it belongs is. There comes a point where the pace around us begins to change. Some begin moving quicker. Others remain steady. Some slow down. Some disappear from view altogether. Yet, none of that was enough to pull our attention until it crossed our path. That's what fascinates me. Not that people move at different speeds, but how quickly our eyes leave what's in front of us once something else starts moving. It's almost automatic. Without saying a word, our attention shifts. The destination hasn't changed. The path hasn't changed. Even our own feet haven't stopped moving. But somehow, our focus has. And sometimes, that's all it takes. Not to leave the race, just to stop seeing it the same way. There comes a moment where someone passes you, not once, not by accident, again and again. At first, it doesn't mean much. You stay with your pace. You stay with your purpose. Then someone passes on the left. You keep moving. Not long after, someone passes on the right. Now your attention begins to split. Not because you're trying to compete, but because your eyes are beginning to ask questions. How did they get there? What are they doing differently? Am I moving too slow? The race hasn't become harder. The questions have become louder. Without realizing it, the road ahead becomes less interesting than the people running beside it. It's interesting how quickly attention can become direction. The longer the eyes remain somewhere, the more the mind begins to follow. Before long, every step starts feeling uncertain, not because the pace is wrong, but because it no longer feels fast enough. Speed has a strange way of creating pressure. Pressure to catch up. Pressure to prove something. Pressure that never existed until someone else appeared to be moving differently. Eventually, the race stops feeling like yours, not because the destination changed, but because comparison quietly stepped in and took hold of the steering wheel. The strange thing is, the body keeps moving, but the passion begins slowing down. Every step becomes heavier, not from exhaustion, from distraction. The excitement that once carried the journey starts fading. Not because the purpose disappeared, because the focus did. Somewhere along the way, the race becomes less about where you're going and more about where everyone else already was. That's when the pace begins to disappear. Not because someone outran you, but because your attention outran your purpose. And when purpose falls behind, passion usually follows. There came a point where I had to ask myself a question. Who am I really racing? The people in front of me don't wake up thinking about my path. The people behind me aren't responsible for my pace. So why were they deciding it? That's when something changed. Not around me, within me. Then I changed the people I was racing against to all me. Not the version of me everyone else remembers. Not the version of me everyone else expects. Just me. Yesterday's pace. Today's pace. Tomorrow's potential. The race finally felt honest again. Something happens when the race becomes personal again. The pressure begins to disappear. Not because the road gets easier, because the noise gets quieter. The eyes stop searching from side to side and begin looking forward again. The same road somehow feels different, not because it changed, because the way it's being seen has. My focus returns. So does my passion. Then I find my pace. Not yours, not theirs, mine. And for the first time in a while, moving forward feels enough. It's easy to mistake speed for progress, to believe the one moving faster must know something we don't. But speed has never promised direction, and direction has never required speed. Some go fast, some go slow. Both continue moving, both continue learning, both continue becoming. Maybe the destination was never meant to be reached at the exact same moment. Maybe the beauty of the journey is discovering the pace that allows you to arrive without becoming someone else along the way. 2 speeds, 1 destination. I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective, maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And as always, be safe.